Hey everybody, this is the Drunken Tech Guy, and today we're just going to do a quick video, take a quick look at an AST Advantage NB. It's 486 SX 33 megahertz with 4 megabytes of RAM. And don't mistake me, that was 4 megabytes. And so, let's just take a look at it first. First thing we have here is a grayscale dual scan screen, and if you've never seen one, you're not going to be impressed. Alright, the Advantage NB has a 9.5 inch screen. We'll just double check that. 9.5 inches, dual scan, with a 33 megahertz 486 SX. It's an interesting chip. If you look, and just zoom it in, we will drop it down a little bit. Now, if you look, and let me just point, if you look right here, this is your mouse. There's no trackpad, there's no track point. There's a little round ball. It's just like an old. It's exactly like the bottom of an old mouse that had the ball on the bottom with the little sensors, the little roller wheels on the inside that would sense your movement. This is exactly like it. It's the opposite side. This is what you'd look at if you flipped over an old mouse. With the optical mouse, you don't see, you just see the little light on the bottom, the laser. So we have our mouse keys right here, power button, and an array of lights that would indicate everything from cap lock, num lock, scroll locks, suspend, then a modem fax, which is all this thing had on it. Didn't have anything but a modem fax. Hard disk drive, floppy disk drive, power, and it had a button for suspending. Okay, if you'll see right here, you have your brightness and contrast because it's black and white essentially. It's color. The graphics card actually displays color. It's just that the computer doesn't. I suppose you could hook it to another monitor and see 256 colors, because that's all it'll produce. So, let's take a look at it. And thank goodness, this thing has a very standardized power jack. It wasn't anything funky, which is good. I'm going to back this off a little. Alright. You'll see that it's in really good shape. Actually, it's just in fantastic shape. There might be a couple scuffs or nicks. Hubble, hubble, hubble. Right on the front side here we have nothing but your release for your cover. Amazing, huh? Nothing. On the side, you will find nothing but your floppy drive. That's it. Flip it around to the other side, and you will find nothing but your modem fax. That's it. Now we'll go to the back. This is probably one of the easiest laptops to review. You have a very simple power plug. Nothing proprietary about it. It's just standard. Nothing like they used to put on the IBMs and Dells and all the other crap that used to come out. Not crap, I'm just kidding. It's all good stuff. It's just I like the standardized ones instead of some square, weird triangle that they have to try to stick in there. PS2 for your mouse keyboard. Then you had a parallel port. Then you had a serial port. Then you had a VGA port. And that's it. And there is what looks like could have been a slot here. It is not a slot. And there's nothing back there. It doesn't open, so don't see no point in trying. It's got a battery. unfortunately the battery is long since dead. It's AST Research Incorporated. Advantage MB. Made in Taiwan, by the way. Taiwan. Okay. Sorry I keep saying okay. I don't know why I say okay all the time. Let's go ahead and fire it up and I'll show you what it looks like. And I don't think we're going to get... I will try to get you as good a view as I can get you. I just need to make sure the angle is prim and proper. It's going to start Windows. And not just any type of Windows. That's an AST branded Windows. Isn't that nice? Windows 3.1. I don't know when the last time anybody actually used that, but and especially using it in a grayscale. The picture is not the best because I'm going to back it up just a little. Alright. The picture's not the best. It's really hard to get this to look good because all you have to work with is the brightness and the contrast. And on that dual scan screen, it's pretty rad. Did I say rad? I must be hip, dude. Pretty bad. Okay, well let's just take a look at it before we call this quits. Because obviously this, as I've told you, right here is the. Oh, you can't see my fingers. All right, let's take a look at this wonderful computer. And what we have here is a whopping 124 megabytes for a hard drive. 124 megabyte hard drive. It has 58 megabytes free. That's very little. Very little. But incredibly, it will actually do quite a bit. If you look at the right here, you'll notice that it has Microsoft tools, and what they are is all the good stuff. Backup, undelete. You can believe that. Let's see what the smart monitor looks like. I haven't actually looked at the smart monitor. Cache memory. 1 megabyte basic size, 512K for the Windows size. That's all we got. That was exciting. Got an antivirus? That's hard to believe. Microsoft antivirus. Microsoft made an antivirus. Huh. Imagine that. Wonder how good it works. OneDrive, 32 directories, 1,062 files. Date? Oh, that's today's date, 9/22/16. Yeah, I've already updated that part of it. Let's just detect and clean. Scanning the memory for viruses. Well, it doesn't have much memory to scan, does it? So it shouldn't take it too long. Nope, doesn't look like it did. And the hard drive's only 122 megabytes. That's like... That's smaller than a lot of bitmaps, you know. That's pretty small. Anyway, this system actually works real good, and I'm going to show you. I've got a huge selection of floppies, and this is just a ton of floppies from the old days. That's funny. From the old days. Verify error. Okay. Am I hitting this thing again? When Wind.com file has been changed from to attribute A. The date was 6/24/1994. Well, that's interesting. Wind.com has changed. What should we do here? Well, let's try repairing it. Here's another one. Comp obj DLL has changed, and it was changed in 1998. The file size is larger. I don't know. I have no idea what this is. Probably part of a program that they, here we go again. The OLE2 DLL changed back in 90. It was from 94 to 98. It's changed. The size shrunk. The checksums are different. I don't know. What are you going to do? This could take all day. Just update all this crap. You see why they didn't? Look at all that. I'd have to update this whole thing. Can't I just continue? Without me? Alright. That doesn't show anything infested, which is interesting. Especially after it was sitting there screaming. So we will now exit this. You gotta close it. And we will not worry about, I don't know about this undelete. Let's see what we got here. Anything? No files found. Well, that's interesting. So it does have a few things on it. And it does have Microsoft Works. Although if you start it, it gives you a couple screens. I don't know. It does work though. Not that anybody cares. But I'll show you what it looks like. Microsoft Works version 3. Now you see, this is where it says, hey, wait a minute. Cannot find the file. Okay, that's fine. I already know that one's gone. And there's only like one file on here. But as you can see, just for an example, just show you that it does have the word processor spreadsheet database. So you could, you know, use it theoretically, print with it. I remember these old spreadsheets like this. I'm sure this has worked just as good as, not as nice as a new one, a modern one, but, and I would never have, I'm sure, all of the advantages of having a new one. But I'm pretty sure that it would be workable. Now, I will show you that everything loads on floppies. And we're just going to grab this one right here, which is Beetlejuice. And because it works, stick it in there. And did I move it? Oh yes. Let me move it back over. Let me check to see how bad it is. Alright, that'll work. Maybe. Just want to show you what it looks like. Sorry about the problems here. I'm trying to do this in a way that will give you a chance to see what this old computer looks like. Go to main. Going to go back up to the file manager. Going to go over to the A drive. No different than your modern computers, pretty much. Except for I don't think they have an A drive. Go to Beetlejuice exec. And it should run Yeah, you remember 3.1 rolled right on top of DOS, so pretty much everything just runs DOS. And as you can tell, the color is just fantastic. We're going to use the keyboard. Sound is on. If you notice, it's using the little built-in speaker that the little, well, you can tell what it is. It's not, it doesn't have a sound card. I'm trying to say all this stuff. It doesn't have a sound card. So I'll show you how to play this goofy game. You actually use your arrow keys, and the ideal is to shoot the, oops. I did better earlier. And you're running around, you got to shoot this skeleton. And then you win. And then you move on to game 2. You can see how exciting this game was back in the day. Back in the day, this was the exciting game. What the heck's that? Anyway, as you can see, that was exciting. Not really. Not really. Can you even see it? I mean, the screen is so bad. Alright, let's quit. Hit the Q, hit the Y. Okay, I just wanted to show you that. Exciting game. Exciting. Now, there's a lot of games here I could load on it, but I'm not going to waste my time because it doesn't have a color screen. It's just pointless. I've got Dune 2. I've got a lot of games that I actually got them on disc here. But anyway, we're not going to load them on this computer. We're going to actually get one with the color screen. It's just as old. It's a compact, but it has a DX 100. So it'll be a little more exciting to see that in color. Exit that. Now, it has a control panel which displays a wonderful colors, which we can't change our colors. We can change them, but you get 256 colors of gray. Fonts, ports, and back in those days when Windows 3.1 came out, you had to configure your ports to make sure they worked properly. Mouse, desktop, and unfortunately the desktop, what you see is what you get. Keyboard, our driver sound, there's no sound on this thing. Actually, if you go to the desktop, though, you can see it does have screensavers, and they work apparently halfway good. That's flying Windows. Yeah, I guess that would be. If you can look at the screen there, you see how bad it is. It's that dual scan. You can actually see the split in the screen. If you look close enough, you can see where the line's in, right about the midway of the screen. Yep. So, without further ado, I will show you a few more things and then we'll move on out of here. You have a print manager, so you could hook up your printer. A clipboard viewer, which you know what the clipboard viewer is for you copy stuff to your clipboard. You're set up for Windows, README, and the clock. I used to like this clock. I know it don't look the greatest on this, but I used to like it. It was just a big clock. And when you weren't doing nothing, it'd be nice to be able to have that big clock available. That's my opinion. It means nothing. Anyway, accessories. It had Write, paintbrush, notepad, a recorder, and that's for recording micro strokes. Let me see, macros, You could do a new macro, and it would actually could record your mouse movement. I only used it a couple times. Your MS-DOS prompt, you could jump out to your MS-DOS. Card file, calendar, calculator. Let's see. You're now in DOS 6.21, which is pretty good. And you just had to hit exit, and boom, you're right back into Windows. Calculator, not much different than the new ones, except for it's bigger. It looks easier. It might be easier to use at that larger size. Your calendar, pretty good. You know, you had alarms, and you could set stuff. Yeah, it's not bad. Windows 3.1. Object Packer. I never really used the Object Packer. I know they talk about it. Anyway, my friends. Oh, there's a media player, by the way. A media player. There's no MCS device drivers installed. Install MCI device drivers. Yes, I don't think that's going to happen. So, and there's some games, of course. I don't know if anybody remembers Ski. I don't know if I could, yeah. Yeah, it's, oops. It's not quite as easy, oops. Anyway, we'll get out of here. It's not as easy if you don't have a nice looking screen. Chess, blackjack, Tetris, Jigsaw. I think you guys can figure out most of this stuff. Unfortunately, it's almost like you're looking at it in reverse. It looks like a negative. Almost. Anyway, I'm going to call this quits now. You've seen enough. I just wanted to show you this wonderful laptop. A blast from the past. The AST Advantage NB. It has a 486 SX 33 megahertz with 4 megabytes of RAM and a 122 megabyte hard drive. And that's about it. And a little bit of that megabytes of RAM was used for the wonderful black and white video. I don't know what else to tell you about it. There's no point in breaking down everything. It is what it was. You know, just take you back a little bit here, and that's it right there. It doesn't have anything but a floppy drive. Yeah, but if you're like me and you got like a, I mean, that's just nothing compared to what I got stuck in my closet. I imagine we all have floppies out the butt. Anybody who just plays with old computers. Anyway, it was fun. Catch my next video. Have a good one.